Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are going to be reviewing my tournament performance of the midweek tournament that I played last night. Um, I started streaming and then I had a family emergency. Luckily, I got it sorted out before the tournament started, but I still had to be on standby just in case anything happened. So I decided to play without streaming. I didn't want to I have to stop the stream midway and then I have to jump into helping out my family. So, what I decided to do is I'm gonna review my games that I played and then have a look at the decisions I made during the games, how I performed, some of the mistakes I made, and just like my general thought process as I was playing the games. Um, this tournament was the Advanced Group 2, is where I was in. And it was played on Wednesday, um, the 6th of November. And this is the EU tournament. I played in the Asia tournament. You can check out my previous stream. I decided to go for supply specialist. It was the best choice. Um, so the reason I chose this is because recently I've been facing a lot of aggro. And I really like the sledgehammer crawler opener into aggro. It works particularly well. And I was hoping that my opponent would have some sort of aggro start as well, but he went standard, luckily. So then I went for my standard setup, which is 2 marksmen, crawlers, and sledgehammers. I just want to note something here. So I've done a lot of testing, and the space between the crawlers and the sledgehammer, you can have it one slot back, or where it is now, which is the furthest forward you can put it from the crawlers. If you have it too far forward, any marksman that's standing around by the towers or slightly behind it will target the sledgehammers first instead of the crawlers. Ideally, what you want is everything to start hitting at the same time, right? I'm just gonna go quick deploy and then get the round started. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna deploy my marksman. Usually it's either on the inside or the outside. I like the inside more because there's more protection for them, but outside actually works better. So it's pretty much a mirror matchup here, except he's got fangs and I've got crawlers. But yeah, his main units are his sledgehammers and marksmen, and so are mine. Just gonna speed this up. So here you can see that I've cleared his first wave of chaff, but I'm struggling to clear his second wave. And so my marksmen and tanks are stuck hitting chaff while he can then start targeting my main units. And he wins the round. Okay, now I'm thinking, how do I develop this board? We both choose Stormcaller. It's the logical decision. I decided to go for 2 sets. So the free one and an additional one. And then decided to get some fangs. I bought 2 sets of fangs. Usually there's some sort of shenanigans that happens here on round 2 if you're not careful. He decided to go for the crawlers. Good choice. So once again, similar matchup here. He's got almost the same chaff as me, but one less set of stormcallers. I've got a disadvantage here because he's got more chaff, but I do have better clear at the moment because of the one extra set of stormcallers. So let's see how they do. Looks like we're losing the right, but we're okay on the left. With all of this coming in, I don't think we're going to win the round. Let's see. Obviously, I know the outcomes of all these games because I played them. But I don't know the outcome of every single round, to be honest. Cool. So he wins round 2 as well. Now I'm on the back foot. Something interesting. Dogon and I, I'm sure you've seen our games previously. We've played a few games against each other. I don't know my win-loss record against him. Yeah, I didn't actually know what to do. I wanted to go arc lights, but then I thought, I can also just get an extra set of stormcallers with high explosive ammo. Right? He seems to be deciding. He gets his Farseer because he's Farseer specialist. And invest in more chaff. Right? He's now got the distraction crawlers in the middle here. He's got a mobile beacon on them. He upgrades his sledgehammers. Let's see how this goes. We're also both running similar tech on our sledgehammers. These crawlers are going to make it through on the left here because I've got no chaff clear to cover them. I noted that in the game. That's something you have to look at while you're fighting. You'll see how I address that problem in the next round. His Farseer is doing good work, and these level 2 sledgehammers are doing a lot of work. They're nice and tanky and they do a lot of damage. With the level 2 marksman, he's doing a great job. I do have extra stormcallers, which is what helped me here, plus the high explosive ammo sort of cleared all of his chaff really quickly. So that's a top tip. If you feel like your chaff clear is not great, but you've got stormcallers, you can literally just click high explosive ammo and it helps you so much with your chaff clear. I've got absolutely nothing else that's doing chaff clear on the board, so yeah, he needs to figure out how he's going to deal with my stormcallers now. I decided to go for heavy armor. At this point, I had already decided I want to go for giants. In fact, my strategy here had already been decided. So what I was doing at this point was I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go for giants, right? What can I do to build up my board so that it's ready for the giants and can protect them appropriately when they hit the units, right? Which giants am I going to go for? What am I talking about? Obviously, it's the sandworm. I love playing sandworms. You're going to see me play sandworms a lot in this tournament, so have a look and see. So I took the heavy armor. He starts missiling me. These missiles are so good in this position because it kills so much of my army. I mean, look at all of that he took out there. I mean, that's me getting punished for not having anything protecting my important units. Notice on the left here what I did. I didn't bring in extra chaff clear. All I did was brought in extra crawlers so that they could counter the crawlers that were coming in on the left. Remember, the only chaff clear I have is the storm crawlers, right? But they're doing a hell of a good job at the moment. Especially these level 3s on the right here. I have been upgrading my stormcallers because I think it's important. Alright. I also did float some cash from the end of this round. So I've got a little bit of extra cash because I know I want to bring in my sandworms in the next round. And I was also fairly confident that I would win with all my stormcallers, regardless of what he brought in. And I did. So we take round 4. Now it's go time. It's time to bring in the big boys. I think I do on round 5. Let's see. Yeah. I choose the steel balls because they're free and I can sell. He also sold. I've got a lot more money than him though, so because I did, like I said, I did save up a little bit of money. So now I can bring in 2 big boys. And he decides to bring in Vulcans with marksman. I'm gonna put a note here. This is my favorite strategy to counter Vulcan marksman, because neither of these units like anything that comes close range and can hit them close up, like to come into their face. And that's why sandworms are amazing here. So I just put the balls in front, and now I'm in a mobile beacon, and this is where the beauty of the strategy comes in. I put my worms in the middle, and I can send them anywhere I want with my mobile beacon. And I decide to go to the right tower with this round. So let's see how that goes. I've enabled replicate on my sandworms as well. It's so cheap. It's 200. So and it works really, really well, especially against single DPS, single target high DPS units. Also using the balls as a distraction. Let's speed this up. I don't even know if I get to the tower, to be honest. I think I lose this round. Let's see. Oh, is that a tower hit? No. Yeah. Yeah, I got the tower. Okay. I got the tower, which means I won the round. Barely. But Dogon's got some problems now. He's got some big problems. A big boy. A sandworm. He's gonna be level 2 now. I immediately take tank production. Another note, whenever you get these items that only go on giants and you have giants on the board, take them. They are massive value. You're getting free units effectively while the giant is moving. So I decide to continue my strategy, keep going with the sandworms. Another note, I'm getting punished again with these missiles. I didn't listen the first time. I didn't take note the first time. I decided to go left this time. Unfortunately, it takes out almost half my army on the right hand side. But sandworms are doing work. Unfortunately, I think he's gonna get a debuff on the right hand side here because I've got nothing to defend this tower. And all my units are going left. So that's a very good play, heads up play from on his part. But my replicate is doing work. My little lava. They are pretty tanky. But it looks like I'm gonna lose this round. So, okay. Now I've been missiled two rounds in this game. I need to learn my lesson. And what am I gonna do? Okay, he takes Eon Blast. I take more tanks. Remember what I said about these production line items? So he goes for more missiles. I sort of knew he would do that. And what I did was I decided I'm just gonna put crawlers on the line. And then they can eat the missiles. And I won't lose. I was deciding whether or not I should go on the side or in the front. I decided on the front because I think it would be better for me from a positioning perspective, and I didn't think he would actually click the incendiary button, which is why I would put the crawlers on the side here. They work really well if he does the incendiary. Okay, so crawlers eat the missiles. Very good investment there. Now we have to hope that our worms can do the business. He decides to go a Scorching Fire and range enhancement. But to counter the Scorching Fire, I decided to go armor enhancement. Majority of his army is focusing on this side, and there's only this one lone Vulcan that's on the right hand side. Some crawlers got through on the left and took my tower out. That was a debuff that I did not expect. But my sandworms are still alive and they are doing the business. They are doing the business. Big boys. Big boys. These little lava are the best. They do so much damage. Nobody expects it. I expect this to be nerfed in the future sometime. Okay, now it's almost the end of the game. I get a good spell. I decide to take it because when it's almost the end of the game and you get a good spell, you have to take it. You just have to remember that he'll have access to the same, so ensure that you protect yourself. You see, I put down shields to protect all my units, and instead of running my sandworms into the storm, I put the storm in the middle and I run them to the side. Okay. He decides to counter with Melter, with energy diffraction and range enhancement. Let's see how that goes. The storm is gonna hit everything because he didn't shield. I think that was a big mistake on his part. That was kind of greedy, but he needed it in order to afford the melting point. But yeah, that's a lot of damage in the middle, and they are slowed for a very long time. The nice thing about using a mobile beacon for your sandworms and telling them where to go effectively is that you can sort of avoid their counters if you want to, you know? And here we were able to successfully avoid the storm in the middle and get the W. Sandworms for the win. Okay, that's the first game. Thoughts? I think I executed my plan perfectly. I don't feel like I made many mistakes here, to be honest. The big thing that I would have liked is maybe another sledgehammer on the left here. And then I should have countered these missiles long time ago. Those cheeky missiles lost me too many rounds. It was very well played by him. That's about it. Let's move on to the next game. Next game is versus Marks Incorporated. Okay, yeah, I choose Typhoon Specialist, same starting lineup. I love the starting lineup. Farseer looks the best for him here. Sabertooth could work as well. He chooses Farseer. Right. Now, I mean, what are the chances that I get the same matchup twice in a row, right? It's kind of crazy. But it is what happened. I'm gonna go fast deploy here. You're gonna see me do the same thing. No different, except he does something different to what Dogon did. He decides to go for Chaff. I did not expect that. I really thought he would go for Marksman. And what he also does here is he goes for an aggro setup. I'm gonna speed up this first round so you can see. Obviously with the aggro setup, he's gonna have an advantage here because all of his units are on one side and he can take down all of my units on this side before I can even hit his unprotected tower on the left, right? So he has the advantage from the get-go here. And now we have to figure out how we're gonna solve this puzzle. Right. One of my favorite things to play is this kind of aggro defense. I get a lot of satisfaction from successfully defending against aggro players. Okay, So he wins round 1. Well, he's about to. We lose a little bit of HP, but not too much. Okay, what do? We immediately get unit drops. We each take the arc lights because it's the one that makes the most sense. Yeah, I have to decide where I'm gonna put my arc lights. I wasn't quite sure. I was thinking the left here, but then I thought, okay, there's not actually much on the left here. So I think I moved this. Yeah, I moved this arc light to the right, and it's a good thing I did because he immediately put down the crawlers. Notice something that I did here. I put down fangs over here to pull all of these units over here, right? And the second thing I did was I put another set of fangs over here to protect my arc light when he eventually pushes in, right? Another note, I don't put, when I'm facing aggro, I try not to put anything in the corners on the flanks. I bolt forward instead of backwards, right? So the reason for that is they can easily flank you on the backside here. A deep flank can cause a lot of trouble if you're not careful. So I decided to just do this, and let's see how it works out. He's now got level 2 sledgehammers. That's gonna be a massive problem for me. Let's see how my army handles it. Looks like we're doing okay on the left. Now it's just this right side. We are really struggling still. My arc light dies. Not good. We need more protection for him. Let's speed up. I think we get the debuff. Oh, the debuff wins it for us. Or does it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm not sure. Let's see. I think this marksman should be able to kill this sledgehammer. Let's see. Yeah, he does. And just in time. So we win round 2. So I decided to take supply enhancement. He decides to take efficient giant manufacturing. So here's where the split in the game happens, right? This is where our paths diverge. Now, because he decided to take efficient giant manufacturing, he needs to use it. Right? He gets his Farseer, and then flanks me on the left here. Now, my spidey senses told me that he would expand on the left here. This is what aggro players do when they feel like their one side is not working out so nicely. And so because of that, I decided to put down this set of sledgehammers here. And it's a good thing I did because he put crawlers here and he put Farseer on the side as well. So he put everything that he placed this round onto the side against my army. And because of that, I won the right side handily because he didn't put anything there and I added my Typhoon on the right hand side. So I got a bit lucky here with my spidey senses. Having the experience of playing against a lot of aggro players, I just thought, okay, let me just put something on the left here. They always try something on the other side if it's not working out. So he's got this Farseer now, and hopefully we take it out. Cool. On to the next round. Round 4. Supply enhancement comes again. I decide to be greedy and take it again. Boys, this is a risky decision, right? You don't do this because you have to, it only pays off after like 5 rounds, right? But I thought maybe this game is gonna go late. Maybe there's a chance that, you know, we go into the late game, and if it is, then I'll get extremely lucky and I'll have a massive advantage. At this point, one of the things I also do when I'm defending against aggro players is I always look for weaknesses, right? So where do I see a weakness? Here's a massive weakness here, right? There's a big gap to his tower, right? He's got nothing shooting up behind his tower over here. So I decided, let me do some wasps. And then see if that gets me anything. It also reminds him that he needs to defend. He's not just the attacker, right? As an aggro player, you need to protect your flanks as well. It's so important. He brings in 2 fortresses. That's very scary with the advanced power system, right? This gives him movement speed. He can get to my towers really quickly. But I get to his tower before he can get to mine, so I get the debuff. And I'm able to successfully defend this push. Double debuff. And I was very, very happy with myself at this point. Because the flank worked. And Marks Incorporated is on the back foot right now. Massively on the back. Okay. Remember what I said previous game? It's close to the end. Right? I get a spell that can end the game for me. I take it. I've got the advantage. I've got extra money, boys. I've got an extra 100. He doesn't have that money. Right? I can afford a nuke. And I can afford to buy units. I decide to go for a boat as my giant. As a way to deal with these fortresses. He decides to go Super Saiyan with Rocket Punch. Then I pulled another trick here. I pushed my wasps towards the tower. This was a bit far back, to be honest. He's trying to flank here with more fortresses. This is a lot of pressure, boys. This is a lot of pressure. We're just hoping that this nuke lands and kills everything, and it does. And we hope that we get the tower. I don't know why he did this mobile beacon here. Maybe it's because... I don't know. I don't actually know why. I don't actually know why. But our Overlord is doing the business here. He's got the one missile to protect against my wasps. So it forces him to spend money. When you flank an aggro player, it forces them to spend money where they don't want to. Right? And I just eke out the win here. I think what won me this game was putting pressure on my enemy, right? Getting those tower debuffs. I got 3 tower debuffs in 2 rounds, right? Identifying those gaps. And then just fighting what's on the board and understanding what aggro players want, right? They want to get to your towers, boys, right? So yeah, he sold this fast here because he saw I defended successfully. Next, I would have probably sold these sledgehammers because I don't need them anymore. But I think with the Typhoon and the Overlord here and bringing in more Overlords, maybe bringing in the Launcher Overload, I would have done a great job against these fortresses. Next game. Okay, so next we played against Bobbler. I haven't played against Bobbler before. I get cost control here. Best choice. Not the best specialist, but best starting comp. I was hoping he wouldn't go aggro. This would be a really good start for him if he was playing aggro. I don't know what he chose here. I think he chose Elite, to be honest. Yeah. Okay, so he chooses Elite. What's the thing with Elite? It's a great specialist for getting level 2 units. So you build up quite a strong army over time. But it's not a very agile specialist. What does that mean? It means it's not easy to change direction and react to what the opponent is doing. So whenever I go into a game against an elite specialist, the first thing I'm thinking is there's going to be level 2 crawlers on the board. I need to be prepared for that. Right? I was not prepared for that in this first round. Honestly, I should have actually gotten arc lights instead of the fangs that I did, which is my normal setup. But let's see how my army deals with it. He decides to bring in the crawlers separately on one side of the board. So it's a bit of an asymmetrical push here. He's also got both arc lights on the left hand side. The crawlers do make it through, but I win the right hand side handily. This is going to be a minute as Stormcaller's matchups go. Okay, so we lose the first round because we were not prepared for the crawlers and the one-sided push. I mean, it's a semi one-sided push. We both decide to skip. Now, the reason he skipped is because he doesn't have money and he needs to buy stuff as an elite specialist. The reason I decided to skip was because I didn't see anything good and I just wanted to get my arc lights out there so I could start dealing with these crawlers. I got 200 left. So I decided to get attack and upgrade my Stormcallers. Very simple round. Let's see if it works. Once again, really just reacting to what's on the board here, which so far is really just crawlers, arc lights, and Stormcallers. And then he decided to bring in one marksman as well. So he basically brought in one marksman and one set of crawlers. Good, it's a level 2 marksman, so it's something to worry about, but he doesn't do particularly well into Stormcallers, so let's see. Yep, he dies immediately. Let's do a speed up here. I think we win this round. It's 4 versus 1. Cool. So we win round 2. Man, this is where the game changes, right? I get my sandworm, boys. I get my sandworm and I'm like, it's time. It's time to implement the game plan. Right? So I was going to go with my mobile beacon play here. And I decided to buy more arc lights. Because I'm almost sure he's going to bring in more crawlers. Fun fact is he actually didn't. He only brought in one set of crawlers. He brought in a marksman. Got my sandworm here in the middle. Does that look familiar? Does that look familiar? Putting the sandworm in the middle. What do you think is coming next? Wait and see. Right, so now we're handily dealing with these, with all these level 2 crawlers, and they're giving my Arclight some nice experience. He gets a fat sandworm in his face. The reason I chose the sandworm is because I'm loving it at the moment. I'm loving this unit. But besides that, he's elite specialist. What is he gonna do here to react to this now? To this big monster of a unit that's on the board now. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna spend 600 on a giant? He has to use small units to fight this. And that's a bit of a problem. Okay, how does he react? Remember, elite specialist. It's gonna be hard. It's round 4. I go for nano repair. He goes for nano repair. It's obvious for me because I've got a giant. Right. He goes for Phoenix. I go for more chaff. Right? I've got nothing that shoots up besides my fangs. So let's see. That's how he has reacted. He's decided best thing to do is to get Phoenix because my sandworms can't heat up. I get my mobile beacon so that I can start maneuvering with my sandworms. One of the reasons I also invest in the arc lights and my chaff clear is because you don't want your sandworms to get stuck on chaff. You want them to get onto those big units as quickly as possible. So the fangs have taken out one Phoenix. But now I've got nothing else that shoots up. So it's only my sandworm. And these are level 2 Phoenix, so they're quite strong. So we lose this round. But it's not too bad. It's three Phoenix basically. And what's nice is I don't even think he kills all my units at the timer runs out. Let's see. Oh, he does. Oh, he does. He does kill. So he has three Phoenixes that survive. Now I have to figure out what am I gonna do here, right? I skipped. There was nothing of interest for me there. So I'm facing Phoenix, but I'm more worried about the ground, to be honest. So I decide to just go more sandworms and then deal with the Phoenix in the next round. I upgraded all my units, and literally that is what I decided to do. I was like, I'll just take the round loss. I don't mind losing the round because I can always deal with the Phoenix. As long as my ground is winning, that's what's important to me. And if I can win the ground war, then I can take out the Phoenix later on. They're not a hard problem to solve, to be honest. Also, I've got fangs in the backline here that are doing a little bit of work. This nano repair on the fast here is so ridiculous. Makes no sense. Okay, now we've got the fangs against all these Phoenix and the sandworms. Let's see what they can do. They take out 2. Now, let's see if they can take out the rest. They take out 3. And they get take out 4. Phoenix can't kill the sandworm because he's got a nano repair kit, so my fangs can do damage. That was a good round, despite the fact that we don't have anything that really heats up. I chose the Typhoons. Now, Typhoons actually aren't really good in this situation, but they were better than everything else. Because the Scorpion is really bad into Stormcallers and Phoenix. And at least I've got something that heats up now. You know? I decided to go for another sandworm just to finish off the build. And then one marksman and another marksman. Just two marksmen. I don't need to overreact. I just need two. While my big boys do the big work and the heavy lifting, these guys just can just mop up everything afterwards. Watch. It's getting scary for him now. So the way he's decided to deal with this problem is by bringing in Phoenix and double shot Scorpions. Remember, Elite, they don't got no money. They don't got money. So he needs to think of efficient ways of solving the problem. But it's just not good enough, man. My big boys are too big already. They are just too big already. That's a lot of damage. Okay, so what does he do now? Nothing he can do. The game is over. At this point, right, it would cost him way too much money to do anything, right? He's got 1,450 gold, right? The main counter to the worm is two things. It's the boat with chin gun, and it's Melter or Fortress, right? And those are giants. That means he has to spend 600 on a giant and give them tech, right? And he just doesn't have enough money for that. I'm gonna speed this up. Yeah, this game, it's pretty much over at this point. I bring in more marksmen. Okay, he does go for a Hail Mary though. He goes for the incendiary and he goes for an oil. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong. But once again, it's just not the right unit. He should have brought in fortresses or melters. Going for incendiary is just not the play. Like, yes, it's gonna take out a lot of my army, but my big boys are quite tanky already, man. And now he's got the nano repair on the Scorpion, and he has sold the fast here. Interesting choice. Notice how I'm mobile beaconing left, right. But you'll see what I do in the next round to finish off the game. Oh, and luckily this Phoenix changes targets from my marksman to my arclight in the last moment. Just not enough, boys. He did an oil and burnt half of my army. It just wasn't enough. Right? I decided to go for the fortress in Sal. So I don't need it. I've already got a bunch of big boys on the board. 2 level 3 sandworms and level 2 sandworms with plating. Right? So I went left in the previous round, so I'm going right in the next round. I mean, he could have predicted this. Like, he could have, because I was just going left, right. Nothing special about my strategy. But now I've got 6 big boys on the board with a whole bunch of stuff supporting it. We get all the usual stuff for the end of the game. Rapid supply, mass recruitment, range, and mobility. Oh, there was another thing I did that I forgot to show you. I'm just going to show this round from scratch again. So you'll see I sell the fortress, and because he's got incendiary, one of the cool counters you can do for that is to actually just put a set of crawlers on the line close to where they are, so that both your chaff gets affected by it. Right? He goes for the big play. This is a Hail Mary and doesn't work if you don't know what you're doing, if you're not ending the game. You'll see I'll put a set right here now. And you'll see what it does. He's gonna throw fire down over here, and he's gonna throw down fire here. That means all of these crawlers have to run through that fire to get to my units. So he's basically just clearing the chaff for me, right? And then my big boys come in and clean up. Watch. It's pretty cool. Now he's got fire on his own board. He's burning his own stuff and my stuff. Everything burns. And I've got plating, so they're not taking that much damage from the fire. And I've got a nano repair. Yeah. Honestly, you should have gone for something better against the sandworms here. Burning the ground does nothing to them, because they're going to be on your units. And yeah, he's got 484 HP. This one Phoenix is just not going to do enough to kill my units. Look at all these big boys. Look at all of them. Oh, what an army, bro! What an army! Level 3 lava, level 2 lava, and he's targeting the sandworm with the nano repair. He's never going to kill this thing. We'll just let it play out. But that is the GG, boys. That's the W. Alright. So we win game 3. We are now 3 for 3, heading into the final. It's game 4. I went and I watched this last game. The other semi-final when mine was done, because mine was done quite quickly. And this guy was very strong. He played a very good game. Guten Tag. And yeah, I don't have good choices here. Terrible choices. Sabertooth, Typhoon, Marksman, Elite. Elite was actually the best choice here. And maybe Sabertooth for aggro, but I'm just not an aggro player. He gets the best specialist and the best starting comp. So he's at a massive advantage here. I decided to go for Typhoon Specialist with balls and fangs. This is not a good starting lineup. And my strategy going into this game was I'm going to be on the back foot for the first few rounds. But I will catch up. And hopefully I don't fall too far behind. I just have to make the right choices, right? I'm going to get my Typhoon. He's going to get his fast here. If I make the right choices, then I stand a chance in this game. But as it stands right now, not good. Not good. He's got one of the best lineups to start the game with. He brings in the fangs. This starting lineup is so good. It's so good. It's hard to beat. So let's see how we do. I'm expecting a loss. I'm expecting a loss of the first 5 rounds. Already I'm thinking, what can I do to improve the board? First thing that's bad is my arc lights got targeted immediately and couldn't clear any chaff. And my steel balls are just hitting chaff. Look, from the get-go, I already knew I'm going to sell these steel balls. Like, I knew already that I was going to sell them, so not a big deal that they didn't do anything. I knew they weren't going to do anything either. We are massively on the back foot here. Luckily, we did get one of the worst starting compositions, which gives us a lot of life. Bear-like is nice to us, and it gives us a free unit on round 2. That's really awesome. I decide immediately to start selling the balls off. Now I have to think, okay, what am I going to do? I need to protect my arc lights, first thing. Right, because they're my only chaff clear on the board right now. And I bring in another arc light. Because I know he's going to bring in more chaff. So now we're starting to build. He also brings in the Phoenix. He chooses the Phoenix and then adds more crawlers to his board. Smart choice. Because I don't have a lot of chaff clear. The arc light still got touched with some volleys from the Stonecaller, but it did enough. We win the right side before he wins the left side. So let's see. While this is happening, I'm already thinking about how I'm going to counter what he has on the board. He wins because he has those Stormcallers. I get my Typhoon. Right, now it's game time. We both choose advanced shield device because there was nothing else that was good. I sold the other set of balls. I get range on my arc lights because there's a lot of chaff on the board, and he decides to go hard on his Farseer. He buys another Farseer. This is going to be hard. Now he's got 4 missile shooting devices that's doing really well, but his Farseer is his only chaff clear at the moment, so that's kind of okay for us. Note, we have not really bought any chaff in a bit, which is not great. And all I did was really just bring in the Phoenix on the left side to counter his Phoenix. His Farseer on the right hand side took out my Phoenix, so it's a good job by him. One good thing is that it's round 3 and we still have the same amount of HP as him. We haven't lost too much HP. So even though we're on the back foot, we're still doing okay. Speed this up. We're gonna lose this round. So yeah, we haven't been losing too hard. We're gonna lose to these Stormcallers. That's another 200 HP down, but not too bad. We're only 156 HP behind him, even though we've lost the first 4 rounds. Right? Did you see what I did? I chose steel balls. Right? I chose steel ball production. Can only be used on giants. And guess what giant is coming soon? Guess what giant that's gonna be put on? But like I said in my previous match, in the previous game, before I actually start putting my giants on the board, I ensure that my board is stable and can handle whatever's thrown at me on the ground. Right? I'm preparing my board so that I can bring in those sandworms. He goes for more Farseers. Right? Sandworms are really good into Farseers, so I was very happy to see that. I also carried over some economy, so just in preparation for my sandworms coming onto the board. It's going to be a massive power spike. Okay. Yeah, so his Farseers are doing great work here. We are massively on the back foot now. He's got the tempo. He's got the units. I decide to go heavy armor. He decides to go lightning storm. We are in big trouble. Our big boys need to do big work. Our big boys need to do big work here. He gets range on his Farseers. And he decided to sell something. I decided to sell something. What did I sell? Oh, I sold the other set of balls. Was that it? Was it the other set of balls that I sold? I don't know. I sold something. Okay. So now this is the grand reveal. We've got the sandworms on the board. He knows what we're gonna do. Remember my strategy from the previous match? Get the chaff clear sorted out so that my sandworms can do their work on the big stuff. That's the strategy here. And what's nice is we've got the single target damage of the Phoenix sitting right behind the sandworm. The sandworm is tanking everything on the left here. Even though there was a lightning storm, he is tanking like a boss because he's got this heavy armor. And I mean, he's the hero of this round. This man is the reason why I was able to win this round. And now he's got less HP than us, guys. He's got less HP than us. We both take the saber tooth. I decide to sell. He needs it in defense of the sandworm, which is almost 200,000 HP. I've now got 2 level 2 sandworms. And he's got melting points that he's bringing in. This is the right response, boys. This is how you're supposed to respond to sandworms. Immediately get energy absorption. So you don't really need to get range, but energy absorption is key. And then maybe you can choose multi-melter as well. Right. So now I start putting on the pressure. Start lending. I've got HP and attack enhancement. He does not. Oh, he does. But he doesn't have many tanky units on the board. And these units that throw missiles, they don't really like big sandworms in their faces, man. They don't like it. Yeah, up until round 3, he probably thought it was going to be an easy game. But then the big boys came out, man. And the comeback is real. I take the... He goes for assault. That's not bad. And he gets multi-melter. Gives them more HP, but shortens their range. Not too bad. Brings in another one. Goes for chaff clear on his stormcallers. He gets oil. I decide to go range on my Phoenix because he's bringing in more melters. The range Phoenix is the counter for melter. Just for everyone out there. It's a really good counter. And also counters the range of the Farseer. I don't understand the point of the oil here. Because I don't think it slows my sandworms, does it? Yeah, it doesn't slow my sandworms at all. This melter doesn't know where he wants to go. Is it left? Is it right? But it's too late, buddy. My big boys have already started doing damage. And the Phoenix behind the sandworms are just amazing. At this point, Guten Tag already said GG and well played and congratulations on the tournament. Yes, boys. It was my first tournament win. I made a massive comeback in the last game, and I think sandworms are the new kings of the hill here, man. These units are so good. Especially with replicate, which is so strong. It's so strong. I mean, I did the strategy 3 times in this tournament, and all 3 times it worked out well. So I'm very happy with that. And I want to show you the medal that I got for this. I can now wear it. Didn't want to give any spoilers in the video. But yeah, that's the midweek tournament champion. Advanced group 2. I'm so happy. Also, I've achieved my highest MMR ever. I am now 83rd in combat power and 73rd in MMR in my division, which I can't believe that at all. I've never been top 100 in my division. 73rd now with only 149 wins, so, and I'm not smurfing. So yeah, I'm extremely happy about that. Can't wait to break 2000. I'll probably go back to 1800 first, because I think I just had a stellar performance yesterday and I was tuned into what was happening. So yeah, this has been amazing for me. It was a great day of tournaments, lots of great games. Having my name amongst some of these really strong players is like really an honor, man. I feel like I don't belong here, to be honest. You know, I feel like I shouldn't be with these guys. These guys are all like strong. Xanatos, yeah, Cheetop. All these guys are strong. Krakow, DRN, another YouTuber. This is crazy, but I'm happy, and it was an awesome tournament, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please do leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Also, I really like engaging with my audience. Please do leave a comment. I really like replying to those comments and the engagement. I appreciate every single bit of support that you give me. And I will check you next time. I might stream tonight. I'll see. I don't know when I'm going to upload this video, but it's Thursday today. I'm most likely going to upload it immediately. I just have to check that everything is fine. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Check you next time. Peace.